It may be Valentine's Day, but there is no love lost in the Big Brother house. Tonight we're talking to former Big Brother Over the Top contestant Alex Willett. But first, is the Big Brother house quickly becoming the White House? Welcome to the Celebrity Big Brother After Show.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Dance with me, please. Dance with me, please. Come on, please.
Oh, I love when we get the lights.
Yeah.
I would like everyone to know this is Bryce's idea to play Kesha every time. Oh, I like.
She was very impressive to me.
You're taking all my moves.
I'm just coughing because I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, seriously.
Because I've overdone it.
You really? I don't think so.
Okay, every time.
It looks really good.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Celebrity Big Brother After Show. I'm Bryce McLeay. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Bryce Advice. Sitting next to me, as always, is Morgan Willett. Why don't you take it away?
Thanks. Hey guys, well, first of all, double the sisters, double the fun. That's all I have to say. And Roxy is also the honorary third Willett sister.
You're like a third
I look like
sister.
you
You're
guys.
blonde.
Yeah, you do.
It works.
Yeah.
You
But
should
any-
have been on Big Brother Over the Top.
Exactly.
Secret sister twist. Anyways, guys, you can find me on Twitter at Morgan_Willett. And now I'll pass it to the one who shares my jeans.
Hi, y'all may or may not recognize me depending on if you watched our webisode series.
Hey, let's not
Why do you keep
cut
calling it
it
the
down.
webisode
I love
series?
it. It just has a special place in my heart. Anyways, you can follow me on Twitter at AlexShay1 or Instagram at AlexShayWillett.
Hi guys, I'm Roxy Striar. You can find me at Roxy Striar.
We're so excited to have you guys both here. Seriously, we know Roxy. We did Floribama Shore with you. We know what a big Brother fan you are. So
Isn't
we're
it
so
hard to say big brother?
Big
I'm a
Brother.
big brother fan.
Big Brother fan.
Yeah, I love this
Huge, giant. Maybe we could find another word.
You're doing it again. This is your second week with using your Donald Trump huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
I am Donald
Huge Big
I'm
Brother
quickly
fan.
becoming Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's what I was
Basically.
trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're very excited to have you guys here. But Alex, first I want to say you and Morgan live together again. And
We do.
It's Big Brother all over again.
I thought that, but you told me that you guys weren't going to live together.
We were not planning on living together.
So who came?
She came to her senses and realized I'm not that horrible.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. It's just Alex doesn't clean a lot, particularly her bathroom.
Stop. Stop.
But
Did you guys have
anyways,
your
I
own
came.
bathrooms?
We do have our own bathroom, so
Oh,
I came
God,
to my
okay.
senses. We figured we should live together. CBS brings families together.
Right.
Yes.
That should be their new slogan.
CBS
What's gonna
slowly
happen-
bringing families together.
But what's going to happen now that Shelby's not a buffer for you guys? Because she used to live with you.
That is true. So old Shelbs is moving close to her job, doing lawyer things. I don't know. Alex is gonna get a cat, so I feel like a cat.
The cat
can
will be the
mediate.
buffer.
Oh my God, your place is gonna smell so
It's gonna be
bad.
bad.
Come
That's
over.
gonna be bad.
You're invited.
Roxy,
No.
that is what I said too.
No, I don't. Thank you so much. You can come over to my place.
She's like, I don't have a cat.
All right, well, guys, before we start getting into this, I just want to let everybody know that if you are watching this and you are Pacific Standard Time, please turn this off because we are going to be talking about tonight's episode. So don't watch it. Come back at 9 p.m. and then watch it like 500 times or so. But I just want to make sure
Or
that
so.
that is, maybe more. But just make sure we are going to be talking about tonight's episode and also a little bit of last week. So I just want to start off by asking you guys a couple questions. Like, I want to know, Alex, who are you rooting for before we start getting into game talk and everything? Who are you rooting for right now?
I think that Mark is going to win this whole thing. He's
Okay.
been my winner's pick. Is that your winner's pick?
No,
too?
we haven't really set our winners pick, so we should go and do
okay.
that. But
Even your what pick?
My
Winners.
Yeah,
Oh, winners.
winner's
Yeah.
pick. I think Mark is going to win, but Brandy is my favorite. Love her.
Okay.
Love her.
But why do you think Mark is going to win?
I just think he's playing a clean game. He knows that this is a season where it's 2 weeks, so people are going to play hard and be seen as targets, and he is just lying low. And I predict that he's going to turn it up like the last 2 to 3 days before finale.
But does he know, or is he kind of a Chuck or Meta where he is clueless? Either way, it's working for him.
I mean,
but
he's still integrated with kind of the core alliance. He's seen as like an outside piece that they can pull in. So he has like a foot in the door. And I think when that core alliance gets split up, he will be able to like maneuver his way in there and kind of be in that group.
He's way too expendable.
they almost put him on the block
Yeah.
tonight. And if things had gone differently, he would have. And if he can't win these competitions, which we've seen so far that he can't, then he's going to end up going home on accident.
Yeah. I mean, aside from him coming into the house and like acting like he was on a TMZ tour bus, I feel like he's actually he has played a low-key game, and I do agree with you. I don't know if it is as much strategy as we think, or if he just doesn't know what's going on.
That's what I'm feeling.
But I have a weird feeling about him, because he's going to get overlooked and overlooked and overlooked and overlooked until the end.
So he's gonna be like the perpetual pawn
Well, maybe.
in a sense.
All I'm saying is I think he's gonna win, and you heard it here first. So we'll
If he
see.
wins, I will buy you dinner.
Okay, deal. I'm on it.
Can I get dinner too?
I was about to be like,
Willett
we're going
sister.
on like a Chipotle budget dinner, but either way, Chipotle.
But you're a Willett sister, so
Yeah,
you
that's
have
why.
to. That's
No, I think that he's gotten almost no shot. But I
Really?
really like the way
okay.
that
So
he's playing.
that was my next question. Who are you rooting for? Who do you want to win? Let's start there.
It's so hard because I don't want to overlook Ross either. I think he's amazing, and he's been a part of the AfterBuzz family, and
Yes.
he's such a doll, like such a good human being, and deserves it. But I do feel like there are so many kick butt females on this season that one of them could totally take it too. Not a Shannon, but maybe a Marissa. That would be really cool to have. Maybe even a Brandy.
I would love it.
I would
I don't know
love
if she
if
can pull it
Brandy
off at the
would-
end
could
there,
win.
but I think she would actually do really good things with the money.
Yeah.
Which she's the only one we've heard be like, listen, my kids go to private school. This is exactly what we're gonna try to do with it. So why not?
I want to ask you something too, Rox. We going back a couple episodes, they formed an all-girls alliance. Why do you think an all-girls alliance does not work on Big Brother? Beside for
So sorry, honey, that everybody keeps saying that too.
It's fine.
I know, and I've said it like 4 times.
If I do get to interview Omarosa in the backyard, I will fully bring it up. She'll look at me blankly because she has no idea I exist, but I will bring it up.
That's probably not true.
No,
But
she's a super fan. Maybe she does now.
and maybe I should
Maybe
rephrase
not.
that. Why do you think these women can't work together?
What was confusing about these women is that they are a part of the Hollywood movement right now. And that's why I was so surprised, because with everything going on with Me Too and Time's Up, you would feel like if they drew that line in the sand, we're going to finally be these women that are going to do this, that they would have stuck with it. But I think Shannon is the reason it all crumbled. Single-handedly, she pulled this down. Because Brandy and Ari were not going to do it without her. And I'm only going to call her Ari because that D does not make sense at all. Get it out.
Ari is way
Get it out of
easier.
here. Get it out of here.
So I feel like that is why. And at the end of the day, when you have the numbers by a lot to be a female alliance and you guys are not going to use it, then it's your fault.
Yeah.
Because that was your choice and you guys just didn't want to stick together.
Yeah. Alex, so you were in a successful female alliance.
Successful for some of you.
Yeah. Successful for some of you.
Sorry, girl.
It's fine. I'm glad she won. We're good.
What would you have if you were in the house with them and you saw this falling apart, what would you have done to try to
It's
rebuild?
hard because this game is such a fast-paced game this season. You don't really have the time to really mend the bonds with each other. So once Shannon kind of broke off from the group, there really wasn't much she could do to salvage it. And I don't know even like if there was anything I could have done to salvage it if I was in there. It's just like the game's moving so fast. It was like pretty black or white. Once you like destroy that, it's done. So.
Yeah. What about you?
I definitely agree with that, and it makes me, to that point, it makes me think, and I'm kind of digging into the episode, but I'm going to say it before I forget. So with Shannon, she can't repair those bonds that she broke. So why would they not keep her, knowing that no one's really going to work with her? She's going to be the odd man out, and then get James out.
Yeah.
To me, it blows my mind.
Get James out of the game.
Right, exactly.
Get him out of
Why
there.
are you guys focusing on Shannon?
It blows
She's so weak
my
mentally.
mind.
in
She's
this
weak
house.
mentally.
Oh my God.
She's already breaking down. She can't build this bond with these people again. So it's like, I mean, keep her. She's always somebody you can get rid of. Get rid of James now because it seems like he has a tie with these people.
But I think the thing is, if James gets to the end, I don't think he'll have the votes because I think if a girl gets to the end, all the girls will vote for her. So if Shannon gets to the end, she's a threat to win, whereas I do not think James will unless he's up against, like,
Meta.
If
Mark.
Shannon goes up against Ross at the end, Ross is winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree
for
with
sure.
that
Yeah.
statement.
I can say that.
Even if she's a woman at the end, if she's
I
going
think
against
even
Ross,
if she goes against Marissa at the end, she loses to Marissa.
maybe.
I
If you
think so,
compare
too.
resumes, I don't know. Marissa
But
hasn't done
I don't think
anything.
these people are going to be voting for resumes at this point because they're not going to be playing, I think, in that hardcore Big Brother mindset. I feel like they're going to be more voting. Like, I think Brandy and Ari are going to vote straight Marissa because they worked with her the longest.
Yeah, and here's the other problem with all of this that people have to remember is that after these people get out of the house, they're all in the same industry. And they're all going to continue working together. I have a friend who was up for going on this season who is a celebrity. He ended up not going, but he was talking to me and he was like, I cannot vote out people who can help me in my career.
Oh, that is such a
very
good
I
point.
just can't. So it's interesting at the end of the day who they think is going to be able to actually have those connections for them. It has to be weighing on them.
That is
For sure.
smart. And
Can Omarosa help them more than somebody like Meta?
And Shannon lives in
Interesting.
South Africa, so it's like, is she really?
She's
a
not gonna be able to-
connection? You know-
That's a great point. I wonder if that is, I'm sure with the majority of them, it's got to be in the back of their head.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask too. Is I mean, there's so many. We've already heard about some people knowing each other going into the house. They probably all do on some level. Like Kevin Bacon, 6 Degrees, whatever. Probably do know each other.
Except for James and Omarosa.
Yeah, I mean,
Who are you
or like
apprenticing
Brand-
for?
Maybe Brandy or something.
I was so sad because I wanted to text you guys so many times all of these things, but I was like, am I overstepping?
No,
But
No.
never.
Always text.
Well, I was like, what if they
Please.
haven't seen it yet? I know we try to avoid the feeds a lot.
Send the memes, send them
No,
all.
I know, and I
That
know,
was
Alex. Have
amazing.
you been watching the feeds? Because I know you watch a lot of them.
I haven't been watching them every day like I normally do. Like normally I have no life. This time I've had like half a life, so I'm like
Ew.
in and out. Thanks.
Enjoy your cat.
we don't have it yet.
Might be getting it this weekend.
She does want to get 2. Roxy, please tell her no.
Are you
That's
kidding?
a
Do
lot.
you have 2 cats?
If they can be
No, I
kittens, maybe
obviously have
forever.
no cats. You're gonna be a cat lady. You're so young.
But like, sadly, I'm the single one and she's not. And
Well,
it's like,
they'll be like half yours.
oh no,
Yeah.
no, no,
Then
no,
you can
no,
be the cat
no,
lady.
Put that on her.
no.
Yes.
No, what I was gonna actually
Anyway.
just going, yeah, actually
Yes.
just going very quickly going back to the alliance. See, you guys think that it was Shannon that was the problem. I think bringing Ross in was the thing that they did wrong because Ross changed the
Because
dynamic.
he's not a woman.
Well, he's not a woman, and they thought
They
they
don't call him a
and that
man.
was extremely disparaging. But I think he is so good at this game. He is running this house. He's so brilliant and can like see 10 steps ahead, and could tell that he was the odd man out at the end, and then he started to crack the group because he knew that he was at the bottom.
Well, what's interesting about merging that thought with what I just previously said is that Ross is the person in the house who can probably help all of their careers the most.
Yes.
He's the only one who can get press for these people because that's what he does for a living.
Yeah.
So I think that that's probably something they're thinking about. And he's super easy to talk to because he's working all of the time.
Right.
Him
Right.
sitting on the couch with Omarosa, damn straight he's interviewing her. That
For
was
sure.
a CNN segment.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I was
Yeah.
Even he's saying, "Oh, I'm playing journalist here. Like, I'm getting this." I'm like, "You are a smart man,
Yeah.
Ross."
Well,
He's brilliant.
No, he really is, and he's not a threat. He's extremely non-threatening on several levels, and that's where you want to be in this game. I think, in my opinion.
When I feel like he's taken the role as the person who is comforting everyone and that person that everyone wants to go talk to and bounce ideas off of because he's like kind of that like big brother role to these girls, and I think that's brilliant of him for
What
doing
he
that.
is doing now, it reminds me of a lot of Andy Herron in season 15, where he is in every room talking to every person, has a relationship with everyone, and he's covering himself. Now the key is like he cannot get caught in his lies. That is kind of the determining factor because he's playing every
going
angle.
to, I think.
Yeah, I think
I'm
so,
just
too.
waiting. Somebody's gotta blow up his game sooner or later. And that's the thing I'm worried about him. If anyone ever needed to ruin his game, they very, very easily could.
But don't you think he would handle himself probably pretty well?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's already proven that in the sense where he said if he's God, I have to get my thoughts together. If Shannon came to him and said, "Were you going to backdoor me?" He would say, he was like, I would just be like, "How dare you?"
Yeah, but now the
You
problem
know?
is if he ever turns on Marissa, she knows exactly what
Yes.
needs.
Right.
It's the one person he cannot turn
Yeah,
on.
he
because
never, ever
She
can.
knows him inside and out
Yeah.
now. And if she's like, "How did you do this to me?" He's like, "How dare you?" She's gonna be like, "I know what
Yeah,
you're
I
doing."
know what you're doing.
You've told me.
I know what you did. Okay, let's get into specifics now. I want to go back because we really didn't get to talk on Monday, our first show. We really didn't get to talk about, first of all, Julie's cough, which was amazing.
Savage.
But
love her for that.
But the house guests are still buying the fact, like everybody, obviously we as the viewers know that we feel like that it was probably easily played up and then she came back into the house, but the house guests seem like they're all buying it. And Julie even said in an interview, she's like, Omarosa played this up. But the house guests are like, I think that she's actually, so what do you think is going on? Now, what do you side with? Do you think Julie's right, or do you think they're right? Or do you think it's a combination?
I mean, as somebody with asthma, I think.
Are you talking about yourself?
Yes, yes, I do have asthma, and I think
so like inconspicuous.
I have asthma. I think Omarosa is fully playing this up, and it really, really bothered me whenever. I'm not Team Omarosa. Everyone can argue with me on this, but to me, she plays the victim card, and she's doing this big time. And as much as I don't agree with kind of Shannon crying about things, but Omarosa going up to her and being like, I was in the hospital, like, all this stuff. Like, I was taking my inhaler in the competition, and you were telling everyone to target me. And I'm like, one, no, you weren't. You're playing up the asthma card when it's... She went to the hospital, which I'm very confused about because they could have easily brought in a breathing treatment, like, into the DR. It's a very, very simple procedure. Mm-hmm. You don't need to really go to a hospital for that. So that's what I'm kind of confused about.
Did she really go to a hospital?
I've heard
supposedly, right?
Yes, she was talking about the nurses in the house, like conversations she had with the nurses in the hospital. So yes, she
was there.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I just think that you are such a bitch. Does that make it better that I spelled it?
Yes.
If you try to be like, she's playing it up in the house. I think all these celebrities are super aware of their image and what this looks like. This is not going to be one of those seasons where somebody says something super duper racist on air.
Oh, they're trained.
You know,
they're trained.
This is what they have lived with. So when somebody goes to the hospital, when you're on set, you know not to say, that bitch is making it up. I didn't spell it this time.
Except for maybe Brandy. I feel like Brandy would be maybe the only one to speak her mind.
Well, she doesn't have a lot as much to lose.
If she's drunk, maybe. Yeah. Maybe not if she's sober. But I just think that they all, even if they're thinking it, most of them are probably just like, better not say it.
Yeah.
Because why?
Right.
Well, even Ross was like, I can't put her up. She just got back from the hospital. I'm like, yeah, yes, that's the game. You kind of have
didn't
to.
that happen at Christmas too? Like
yes.
when she came back, they didn't evict her. They nominated.
But that
her
was
right
super duper real, and her leg was real nice.
It was real.
That was for sure
broken.
happened.
It was not,
and it wasn't asthma either.
Yeah,
like
imagine if she had them put a fake cast on her and like dupe us.
That'd be amazing.
Epic.
That'd have been amazing. So we also really didn't cover Keisha, not to be confused with Kesha. But Keisha's eviction,
big difference.
Huge
Very similar people, though.
Very similar people.
Breast milk.
Do you think that was like obviously I think it was a self-eviction in a sense, and how do you guys feel about that? Because I feel like at least with you people that have played Big Brother, that's a really big no. You're like...
Yeah.
Alex made it a really good point when we were watching this that I didn't think of last week. So go ahead and spill that because it makes so much sense.
Here is my theory. When someone self-evicts in Big Brother, you lose your stipend and you lose your money. Keisha could have self-evicted if she needed to go home, but she chose to get voted out or plead to get voted out, ruining the game plan and the strategy of the game so she could keep her money. So in my opinion, that's the issue I have with it, is you could have quit at any point, but you chose to ruin and blow up people's games for your own selfishness.
That is so interesting.
Boom.
Yeah.
Nail on the head.
And I have no problem with her going home to be with her kid. I totally respect that and get it. But go when you needed to go and don't.
My thing is
ruin Ross's game or
Yeah.
But she knew
game.
how long it was going to be. I mean, it's probably total 4 weeks. You go into that knowing you're going to be away from your kids. I feel like you should prep. And I'm full team Brandy. I think everything Brandy said, she's like, I'm away from my children as well. I am not breastfeeding them, but I'm having to provide for them. I'm a single mom, and I'm here sticking it out. So,
thank goodness Brandy is a mom. Imagine the horrible publicity somebody would have gotten if they were saying, just tough it out. Don't go home. Thank gosh she is, because at least people are like, okay, it's from one mom to the next. I think it's wrong. I am not a parent, so maybe I don't know, but I think that if you have to go home, then you should go home. And
at the time,
I'm okay if you didn't realize how demanding this was going to be, or that your breast milk was going to deplete, or any of those things. Then you should walk out the door. You can't make other people vote you out and ruin their chance at winning money. That's a problem.
That is my issue, and it just makes me so angry because to me the game is a game that needs to be respected, and I do not think she respected the game enough to handle it properly.
And you have to know that they also had to tell her what to say, because when they edited that when she was crying in the backyard or whatever, there was no context for me. I had no clue what was going on. What is she talking about? All this stuff. You knew that they were coaxing her and telling her the reason why she had to do this, and it felt sort of like, okay, she is going to. Producers were back into a corner, and that's got to be a really hard position for them, especially not dealing with like necessarily always dealing with celebrities when you're dealing with regular people. You know, they've got to coax them and everything else. So.
What was she doing? Was she pumping and dumping, and people were delivering
She
that
was-
milk to?
I think they were saying she was pumping and freezing it. Is what
But
I
then
read.
what was the child?
Also,
Like
that's what
formula-
I'm
formula
confused
baby.
about.
I would have felt much more for her if her child had been in the first few months. But the fact that her kid is over a year, it's okay that they're still having breast milk. That's your choice. But there's no longer any psychological damage that can happen to a child after a year, is what studies say. So it's at this point like your kid's being a little picky.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly.
No, seriously.
And the nutrients are not the problem. It's the fact that your kid is not necessarily eating other things, which it will learn to do because
Right.
us as humans learn to do that.
Yes. And I will say, obviously, like, I am not a parent either, and nor am I a woman, although some people in my grade school would probably disagree with that.
Or in Ross's group of friends, you never know. Okay.
But you know, I agree with what Brandy said. I mean, I have to kind of agree with what she said in the sense that she's like, you don't think I miss my kids? You don't think I have to provide for my kids? I mean,
Exactly.
there's no reason.
Brandy with the voice of reason. I would have never ever expected
down.
it, but
I
I'm
know.
full team Brandy on that one.
She
So-
is a doll.
Love
I actually
her.
got the chance to interview her for like an hour and
Really?
a half.
I
and
would
she
love
was the
to-
cutest thing. I don't watch The Housewives, so I don't know what her image is. Did you watch
I
it? Or
don't.
is that why you...
I've seen clips. I've never like watched. The
I watched her
episodes.
when
So
she was on
sweet.
Celebrity Apprentice, and I thought she was smart
I
there
watched
too.
her there. Yeah, she was great.
Yeah,
She was kind of like, I mean, she was sort of like the Omarosa, that archetype, but
Okay.
she wasn't.
I just liked her.
Yeah, I liked her
She
too.
seems great,
But she's
too.
really
I
smart.
feel-
Although I think Omarosa is very smart too. Even regardless of like whatever you think about her, I do think she's very smart. We can get into that
I
later.
agree.
So I want to know, who do you guys think? So now that the jury does get to watch, this jury gets to watch all the episodes.
Such a weird twist.
Very strange.
I don't agree with that
And everybody's
whatsoever.
part of the jury.
Everyone's part of the jury, and it's very strange. But I wanted to know, after Chuck and now Keisha have watched these episodes, who do you think they're rooting for at this point?
Omarosa.
Well, yeah, they've done
Both of them?
interviews saying if Omarosa gets to the end, they will vote for her. So
Really?
she is a
I think they're
threat
saying
to win this whole
Omarosa
thing.
and Meta
Yeah.
is the two they're
Yeah,
supporting.
but
I
yeah.
don't think you can trust Chuck's vote in any way.
No,
he
I
might vote for the wrong person.
completely-
Now he's like Meta. He's gonna be. They're both don't understand how this.
I feel
voting
like with
works.
him, it's going to be a last minute, well, this is the first name that popped into my head, so I
Yeah.
think I'm going to vote for them.
But now
Yeah.
he finally thinks he's voting them out and not to win. He doesn't know. Like Chuck
Somebody
Sosa's a
tell
wash.
him.
That's a good question that I have for you, because we talked about this last time, but what do you think about the fact that like Meta, and I'm not sure about Chuck, he seems to know more about the game, but do you feel like it should have been, they should have picked somebody like Meta who doesn't know anything about the game, and this is a question for you too, or should you have picked somebody like our friend Matt Eisman, who like is a
Love
huge Big
him.
Brother
He's a
fan,
friend
you
of mine
know,
as well,
yeah,
yeah.
like who would have been amazing on that show, or countless other people. I just
I-
want to know.
Well, what do you think?
I mean, I think that they put Meta on for a specific reason. If anyone watched OTT,
Yeah,
he was
that's what you
exact.
said.
Justin
He's
is
Justin
Meta. They're the
2.0.
same people, and Justin was the comedic relief on our season, and that's what Meta is. They put him on there, not like knowing that he wasn't going to win the game, knowing that he wasn't going to like play his heart out and stab people in the back, but they put him on there so they could put filler clips of him playing with flamingos and stuff like that. So
I think that every season has people that don't know the game very well. There are super fans and then there
Yeah.
are not, but nobody to the extent of Meta. I
Right.
feel like he's the first one who not only did he not know about it before wanting to go on, he did not look into it after being accepted. Like, he did not know what a back door was. He did not know
Right.
how to vote. He's clearly never watched one episode. So that's somebody who gives 0 Fs. And I don't mind that he's there, but I do think that I think Matt, first of all, would have won the whole game
Yeah,
because
probably.
Most
as he's done in everything.
Yeah.
So I think that it might be more entertaining to have him on another season where he can fill the super fan quota because we need the non-super fans. It's not fun if everybody's just like circle jerking and they're like
game.
Yeah.
But that's how I felt like 19 was. I felt like they were all, like almost everybody in that group was a super fan.
But then when you think about it, think about Kevin. Kevin on 19 was also
He was the
clueless.
comedic
He's the
relief.
comedic relief. It's like there's one archetype every single season. They're like, they know nothing. They'll be funny. We can do filler clips when we don't know what else to play. So it's interesting that they do that.
Yeah. So Ross and Marissa think that they said it in either this episode or the last one that they're so convinced that Shannon is going to betray them or that she would. Do you feel like that is the case? I feel like they're so close to becoming Shannon and James. Like if they get these two out, then they're going to be this like duo that's sort of unstoppable, or they're going to think it's a threatening thing. What do you guys think about their sort of relationship and what?
I agree with you. I think that they will be the next people like on the chopping block. I think that they are banking on Omarosa being their meat shield in a sense. And right now, I think they're playing kind of messy. I think Brandy and Ari are the ones who are in the most solid spot in the house. And I think Ross and Marissa should be very worried because this game is about to get crazy when all the double evictions happen. And I see one of them going on the double evictions for sure.
Do you have a sense of which one, do you think?
I think Ross would go before Marissa. I think Marissa is the token goat you bring to the end, knowing that you can probably beat her. She's just going to word vomit all over the place. Like, she's not really strategic
hate on
threat.
word vomiting. It gets you places. Don't ever watch my speech.
She word vomits.
Roxy's gonna watch it and be like, "Oh my god!"
Wait, which one?
Do you really?
Which
the
speech?
I gave to go to the inn to vote for me. Because, okay, backstory behind that. Everyone else had been prepping. I thought I had like 5 hours to do this. And then they go on the loudspeaker and they're like, we're going live in 10 minutes. Prepare your speech. And I was like, I had nothing prepared.
It was literally like 5 minutes of talking in circles. And I was like, she's not going to win. She just screwed herself. She is done.
But instead, I don't know, honestly.
Speeches didn't matter.
Is that the clip you brought? Or didn't you brought it? You brought a clip, didn't you?
I do. I have a clip which...
it's with Chrissy.
It's the clip, because even Roxy is shocked that no one believed that me and Alex were not related. And I got to the end of the game, and I was like, I need Chris.
Because you guys are like twins, so it's...
It blows my mind as well.
And you have the same last name.
So I get to the end, and I finally exposed to Chrissy that I'm related to Alex, and she blatantly is insulted that I think she is that stupid.
You insulted her intelligence by saying we're related. Because you're
But I
clearly
was being
lying.
so truthful. Let's roll the clip real quick, and it's a good comic relief.
Yeah. Morgan is trying to offer me some bit of information about herself that no one else in the house has, as sort of collateral to make me trust her more and make me understand that we're on the same page. I know it's garbage. Morgan is a terrible liar, but she's so desperate to get to the end that she's willing to just spout any kind of nonsense that's going to make me kind of think I can trust her.
I just want the four of us to make it, obviously, to the final four.
That'd be such a weird thing to make up.
Right.
That'd be so strange.
Obviously, she underestimates my intelligence because I see right through it.
How stupid did she look to America at that moment? What did she say when she finally found out you guys were telling
She
the
was
truth?
like, I knew all along.
What?
I knew all along.
That
Like, I
clearly
knew
proves
it.
that she did it. Okay, well, also, so I saw that you brought a clip, so I thought I would get one too.
Oh.
So maybe we should play that one as well.
Are you gonna? Oh no,
Oh,
no, no.
What's happening?
Is this where
Oh no,
I have
no.
a... Is this you okay?
This is where I'm crying.
Is this spitball or...
I thought it'd be nice to show that your
Slow down.
sisterly love toward each other.
She's me up here. That's me. Yeah, I'm telling you. I like didn't wear makeup. What's wrong?
So much guilt.
Go let it.
Why are you crying?
I was a have-not.
At least you're tan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Try to put a pillow or something.
That was so nice
That's
of
the
you.
nicest
Take
I've
care
ever
of it.
been. To
This
her
is also
in my
when I was a
entire life.
have-not by myself, and everyone was eating, and I was just like sitting alone with a jar of pickles. Like, I hate.
I also
Oh
saw
my
a
god,
clip.
it was pickles? I love pickles.
I thought I saw something that
You-
was
you
like
like
it was like
them
Morgan.
too.
It was like a clip. It was like Morgan eats while being a have-not. Did you?
I
You ate a cheese.
I ate a
I'm gonna
cheese
throw
it,
up. I'm
and I
sorry.
freaked out.
What are you allowed to do with slop?
You can do whatever you want with
Like,
it.
can you fry it?
You can fry
We
it.
used to put powdered sugar in it and make a candy out of it.
Oh, you can put things in
You
it.
can put like any type of condiments.
Ketchup, mustard.
So like some people
Sugar.
would put like salsa and make slop salsa cookies.
Like, almost like
We would
latkes.
like
Slop
like
wings,
like
barbecue sauce and slop.
yeah. Some people would mix barbecue sauce with it, so it'd be like barbecue oatmeal.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Actually, that there are weird combinations that probably wouldn't be that bad.
Does it make
Oh,
it
no.
seriously that much harder to compete?
You have absolutely zero energy. You feel
It
like
is
just
the
a
worst. You feel
blob.
like you have concrete in your stomach and you're lightheaded and
What's in it?
it's like
It's steel. It's literally like protein and steel cut oats and like these weird beady
It's like
little.
these
It's a carb.
What if you're
seeds.
allergic? What do they do?
Oh.
well, Raven couldn't
Claim
eat
it.
slop
Claim
last
allergy.
season, and
You
they
can.
shouldn't
They
have to
do
it.
have gluten-free slop. I know that.
Stop.
Are you serious?
Shut up.
They have gluten-free slop.
Someone request this on BB20, please. I want to see if this
I need.
happens.
Oh my god! I need.
I'm pretty sure they
I'm
do. I think
gluten-free.
or
They're
at
like,
least they
too
were
bad.
When I was working there, they were like working on it. Or
They're
something.
experimenting
Yeah,
in
they
the
were
Big Brother
experimenting.
lab.
Experimenting.
I'm so happy about this conversation.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Get back. We sidetrack a lot, but so Ariana wins HOH by 1/10 of a second.
I think it's
on
rigged.
this episode.
Not rigged, but I think there is a little bit of fishiness that it's 0.1 seconds.
I would ask for a recall.
Me too. I
recount,
fully would be like,
A recount.
Recount.
I want to see the footage that it came
Yeah.
0.1
Yeah.
seconds later. I think
Just
it's.
would. I don't know if you're allowed to, but I would.
Maybe that shows that James is very trusting of them, that he didn't even feel the need to argue about it.
He's not a very bitter person.
Yeah.
No, he really is not.
No, he didn't. He didn't like seem to care at all. And then he was like so oblivious that he was like being targeted.
But I don't understand why Shannon was so excited that Ari won. Ari's not in your alliance anymore.
Well, see, I think that there's some blurred lines here with that alliance because I still think that all the 7 girls think that they're, or 6 girls now, think that they're still like in each other's radar.
Not after the Omarosa
That's
thing.
what I
So
think.
Shannon, if you're supposed to be this brilliant game player, and you've watched all these, it took you until you weren't suspicious when Meta's on the floor.
Yeah.
Right.
You weren't
Why would
suspicious-
Meta be
why
hanging
would
out in
Meta
the
be in
HOH
there?
room?
That's the problem.
Right.
She's like, oh, he won't leave.
Well,
Yeah. Anything happen up there? Like nothing.
Well, I did think that it was that she at least was smart enough to when she said I was like writing this down when she said it, but I thought that it was good when she was like, I know when I'm a big fan of this game. I know when if people aren't talking to you or they're not looking you in the eye.
You know what?
Duh.
Yeah.
She is really good friends with Evil Dick and James Ryan, and before she went on, I think she like, I don't know if she knew she was going on, but I knew she like wanted to go on, and I think she talked to them and they kind of gave her tips, and I would not be surprised if that was one of their tips. Just
Like if no
if
one
they're not
talks to
making eye contact with
But
you.
that
yeah.
it makes me very curious on the other end. Like they had to know what they were doing was very obvious.
Yeah.
So why would they not just act like everything's fine? Like, yeah, let's
Because
talk
Ari
to her.
couldn't handle it. That is the bottom line.
That's-
Ari
yeah.
could not handle being in that position. If it was somebody else, if that had
If it
been
was
Ross
Brandy.
Or Brandy.
or
Yeah.
Brandy, come on in, hang out. Then you do what you're gonna do.
Omarosa.
But
Right,
Been your best
anyone.
friend.
I was kind of impressed with Ari though that she did not fold when Ross said you should put up
Yes.
Mark and Omarosa.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed that she was like, no.
Yeah. she
I
was
think
like,
that might be Brandy. I feel like Brandy.
Maybe.
It's like it's almost. I read something where somebody was like, "This is basically Brandy's HOH," which I don't know how true that is, but I feel like I think Ari will do whatever Brandy says.
Maybe, but the fact that she didn't do whatever Ross said was
Right, is
interesting.
impressive.
It
Yes.
shows that she did have backbone in that
yeah.
situation.
Or that she and or to your point, she's listening to someone else.
Right.
And
Either way, I don't think everything's fully her, but like props to her for not folding because I think in any other situation she probably would have to Ross. So
Yeah.
did you ever feel that way when you were in the house? Did you ever feel like, because I mean, even though you did have your sister, but like, did you ever feel like no one would like? Did you ever feel like Shannon, like you were paranoid or?
Oh, I was so paranoid. I was like obnoxiously paranoid.
Really?
Yeah, but I never really backed down to anyone. I was very good. Well, our house was different in that it was like 2 sides that hated each other. So I stood with my side the entire time and didn't back down to anyone else. So
although she did say she would vote me out if she
I
had to.
did, and I probably still would have if it meant.
Oh, she probably still would. So
Yeah.
watch out.
If
Don't
Bryce
ever
and I
bring
had
us
been in the
back.
house, would we have been on your side or the other side?
Ooh.
I think you would have been on our side. You
I
don't
agree.
seem like the type to like wipe your armpits on pillows.
You don't know that.
Roxy's like, you don't know me.
What side would Bryce have been on?
Yeah. What would I be on?
I feel like Bryce would have been the Monty.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you would have been
is that a
Monty.
What does that
compliment?
mean?
Oh my God, you're so Monty.
Roxy, you're gonna watch a clip and be like, Bryce is Monty. I expect a text when you do realize
2 a.m.
it.
text message for sure.
It's Monty. You're just you're lovable. You just have to watch.
You
I
don't-
can't put it
Yeah,
into words.
I'd
At
say
least that's the word
So
she
nice.
used.
Yeah, I know.
You're
Like,
lovable.
what a
could've
very
been
good
a
attitude
shame,
to
though.
use.
Vicious,
Yeah,
horrible.
evil.
The worst.
Armpit wiping.
Armpit
freak.
wiping. A-hole. No, but
Monty.
I did think it was funny too that Julie said something in an interview. She said that Shannon is similar to Vanessa.
Oh my
because
gosh.
she
Yes.
cries all the time. She's
And
a
they play
poker
poker,
player.
yeah.
But like I was and then after seeing that, when I was watching her tonight, after she was nominated, because obviously Ari nominated James and Shannon, and I was like, whoa, it's like spooky, and I don't know if it can't be tactic.
Well, I'm just so sick and tired of her saying they've been out to get me from day
yeah.
one.
Oh, that was so
Why
annoying.
do you keep saying that? You were the head of the entire house. Not only were you HOH, but you were also the head of the house.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Just
Yeah.
with your personality. Everybody loved you. Everybody was saying, Shannon's so sweet. It's sad that she probably won't win the game.
Yeah.
That's what Ross, Marissa, everybody. Everybody loved you. They were out to get me from day one. What show are you on?
Yeah, they were like aligned, but everyone wanted to work with
Right,
you.
every
immediately.
single person
Omarosa-
she talked to.
Everybody, James, Omarosa, and now James is still having your back, and you're like, I have no friends in this house. James
She's
is
like,
like, hello.
Yeah.
Also, biggest super fan ever, and she's like, I'm never watching this show ever again. I'm done. I'm like, girl, you
come
are being
on.
so dramatic,
Yeah.
probably more dramatic than anyone I've seen. So I'm just like,
But Ross on the feeds today said, because I watched the feeds today. Everybody.
oh,
Oh,
wow.
crazy. He said that Shannon might be the best player in Big Brother history.
I
I
disagree
definitely
with that.
disagree with that, but I want to defend Shannon for a second. This is the first time this game has ever been played at this pace, so I would assume going into it, she assumed she had to go hard out of the gate to get respect. And I think that it's kind of a template of how not to play in the future, so people will be able to look at her game and realize you do not want to play like Shannon, but she didn't know that at the time. You know, she was the first one
Unless she wins.
really doing that. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
she didn't win.
And then we're taking back all of this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I agree coming out of the gate kicking with that, but you have to realize it's still Big Brother. Anytime somebody comes out swinging that hard, it's proven to be a target.
Yeah, like, did she need to spell responsibility?
Did she need to even win the veto? Like, it's to that. It's like you almost were just doing the most, and I get it's your dream. You want to win everything, but it's just like, this is still Big Brother, no matter if it's 2 months or 2 weeks. So I get it, but I'm also just like, take a deep breath. But it seems like she's already kind of shot herself in the foot, but who knows? Maybe she'll make it to the end.
Now, what do you guys think about Meta now? Because he's Meta World Beast, and I want to know
I wonder if he legally changes his name.
maybe. But some people were saying that maybe this has been an act. I just want to know, do you guys think that a lot of these people are face value, or is it?
I've followed Meta World Peace for a while now, like prior to this show, in interviews and whatnot. He's a weird ass dude.
Yeah, wasn't he on
This is
Wasn't he on another
100%
weird
him.
reality show too? Was he on Apprentice?
I don't know.
I think he was.
I don't know. Just his
Or
career, because
was he
I'm a.
Was he on Dancing with the Stars?
He was on one of the two.
Maybe,
I know James is on
maybe in
Dancing
the-
with the Stars.
Maybe
Maybe
in
in
the
the group
booth, you guys
chat.
can help us out, or in the chat.
I said the group chat.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. It just sounded like I was like texting.
I don't know, but I've seen his post-game interviews and just like him as a person, and this is 100% him.
Yeah.
Like, just a wild child, and I think that he is not putting on any kind of act. I think the only one who's playing down is Marissa, because she is clearly a fierce competitor. Like, I love that they underrated her with that spinning competition. She's like,
She
I'm a Broadway
crushed
dancer.
it.
Yeah.
Are you an idiot?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that she's the one who's like kind of playing it back, but everybody else I feel like is, and maybe Omarosa has a mask on.
Right.
I'm confused about her as a human.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That's a
and
great way to put it.
That's what I wanted to like kind of start to segue into is like, I know that this isn't a political show, but this politics has like drowned out this game, and so I'm wondering like, so like as I just took down some notes like here, so I have we have a clip from the press secretary Raj Shah responded to a question about Celebrity Big Brother.
Wow.
reaction to comments made by former White House aide Omarosa on Celebrity Big Brother, where she said, quote, she is haunted by the president's tweets.
Wow.
She described the situation inside the White House as bad and said it is not going to be okay.
Not very seriously. Omarosa was fired 3 times on The Apprentice, and this was the 4th time we let her go.
I can't believe they're talking about The Apprentice.
She
in
had
this.
limited contact with the president while here. She has no contact now.
She said that. She said she had limited contact because anytime she tried to get close to him, he would.
Yeah, they battered her. They battered her away.
She straight up said that.
Yeah.
It was interesting hearing her talk about Melania, though.
Yes, and that was another point.
That
Like
was
she called the Melania
crazy.
amazing. She said that she called Mike Pence scary. We can go over all these points, but like she also apparently told today watching the feeds.
Wow.
Omarosa told Ross that she thought Hillary would be a good president.
Interesting.
That's a wild thing to say.
Yeah.
I wonder if, though, that's by comparison.
Right.
Because Hillary was the other option.
Yeah.
So maybe she is saying Hillary would have been a better president. Yeah, wow.
I just wonder, like, so as I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was saying how he thought that Omarosa was using her time. He doesn't watch the show regularly, but he said that he thought that Omarosa was using her time in the White House to like shield her from being evicted. And I don't think that's the case. So you guys are like, I just am wondering, like, what is this becoming a political spectacle? I mean,
How would that shield her?
that's what I don't know.
Like they want to
either.
keep her around to keep
she'll-
getting juicy gossip or something?
Yeah. And I noticed that Joseph Boza, he says he thinks the producers really want Omarosa to win too. So I'm just
Really?
wondering if this is like all kind of a. I
Probably
mean,
because they're paying her the most, so
Oh,
they want to get our money's
absolutely.
worth.
Right.
It is good
We're paying her $1
ratings.
million. She might as well win.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me if some of the contestants, maybe like Brandy, for instance, want to keep Omarosa around, knowing that if they get in a fight with Omarosa later, it's gonna make the news. Like keeping Omarosa
Goes back
around
to your point.
benefits you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
But does it benefit you in a good or a bad way?
any PR is good.
That's
PR.
true.
I also think it was a really, really bad look that the entire house was against Omarosa and Keisha. Remember, what season was it where their first transgender person was
Audrey.
on?
17.
Audrey, and everybody was like, you don't want to be that dickhead who puts up Audrey and eliminates it.
Right.
But while Audrey was causing like crazy
Pandemonium,
problems, and to have 2 African American women sitting on each other next to each other on the block, and to put them there and then to evict one right after the next, I just think that it's a bad look. So I think that right now, again, these celebrities who understand what their image is and don't know how long Meta's like, I might leave the game, I don't know. It's like, you don't want to be that person who's attacking 2 Black Girl Magic girls. That's
Right.
just not the move. So I think it's partially that. I don't think it has anything to do with the White House. I think the fact that Keisha was able to be Omarosa's friend just proves how much the White House didn't have anything to do
Right.
with
That
it.
is very true.
Yeah.
So-
I just didn't know, like, I like politics and even celebrity to an extent. In my opinion, has never ruled this game. So I feel like it's a very interesting, like, another layer. You know, we already have these celebrities, but now like our world politics are being revolved around this show, which is.
I honestly feel like the house guests aren't even probably talking about politics that much. I think CBS and the producers know anytime they air anything about politics, the ratings go through the roof. And to me, I get it. It's a little frustrating because it's like now you're expecting a White House segment almost every episode. You're like, well, what's going to happen next?
But they're some of the most interesting segments.
I mean, I am very curious about it, but it's just like, how long are they going to keep?
Yeah.
Are they going to keep doing that every episode? It's going to be interesting to see that.
I think that's why they threw in the Obama comment this week with Meta being
Oh,
like,
100%.
the Obama, you know, that
The basketball court.
and just like throwing a little shade at him because it
Right.
was like we're not trying to make it all about being democratic
Right.
here.
Yeah, here's
Right?
Obama.
We don't like anybody.
Yeah. We hate all of them. No, I just think that is it. It's made this game even weirder than it already is.
It's crazy.
Well, so let's move on to our Chen Chatter segment, which this is if you guys don't know, this is when we talk about things that Julie has said.
Oh,
Queen
fun.
Julie.
Julie
Love
has
her.
said in the news. So she told the Hollywood Reporter, said when asked if Celebrity Big Brother will happen every year or is this a once in a while live event, Julie said, I had my reservations, but if it goes the way I think it's going to go, I don't think it will be the last one, but it all depends on ratings. If it does well against the Olympics, I see it only happening against the Olympics. It's like a game of Tetris because you need X amount of nights on the air, and CBS doesn't really have that real estate. Wink. I wanted to know what you guys think. Do you guys want to see another Celebrity Big Brother? Do you want to see it in 4 years? 4 months? What is your opinion?
I know for me, I've been kind of keeping track of the ratings, seeing how it's doing compared to The Bachelor or the Olympics, and it's consistently been in second or third place, which is amazing. So I think that if it didn't have the Olympics, it would be even higher next year. I don't see OTT coming back. I think that they will try to do this every year until people get burnt out. Or they don't have the budget for it. I know it's expensive.
You go ahead.
I don't feel like they did a very good job advertising this show. I feel like if people had realized that you didn't have to watch previous seasons, that it's all celebrities,
That's a really good point.
I feel like they would have tuned in more. So I think that it's strange that she said if it does well against the Olympics, then it will only do well against the Olympics. What the heck does that mean,
Right.
Julie? You say weird things sometimes, and I'm confused by that. So you're saying that you cannot do this show again until there is another Winter Olympics?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. So I feel like if they put a little more money, knowing that it did well this year, if they put money into advertising for next year, then it could do really well, not against the Olympics.
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing, and I agree with all of those points, I'm wondering, though, if it'll get harder because more celebrities will demand more money. So, and I mean, but it makes so much money, so I'm assuming it'd be okay, but that's the only
But
thing
also-
I think that they would have, because they're going to want to get bigger and bigger names, and if Omarosa's getting $1 million, then let's think of what the next big name's going to get.
Yeah, and I think Julie is, I mean, to her point, I think that it is sort of a gamble, and I think she's saying this in the sense of she knows she knows this institution, she knows CBS. And I think that she kind of has to make it so it's not. I guess she probably couldn't come out and be like, yes, every year, because she just doesn't know what it's going to be. But I would like to see this continue. I think it can be successful. I wish it would be longer.
I agree.
I mean, even like a month. I know that they've been sequestered technically for a month, but the game is only 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
I think you need a little bit more time, and I know that it is hard when you are a celebrity or whatever, but.
My biggest worry with having Celebrity Big Brother come back is that people will get more focused on this and care less about the summer season. And I want just normal people to have a chance to play this game. I don't want it to become a Celebrity Apprentice or a Celebrity Big Brother thing only. I want,
so
all
maybe it
super
would be
fans to
better
play.
than every other year, where
Every
people
other year
can
would
look
be better,
forward
in
to
my
it.
opinion.
But then they'll really focus on those summer seasons because I do think those are the seasons that are
I mean,
the
that is
most
Big
important.
Brother. This is
Right.
not Big Brother. Summer season is Big Brother.
I feel what you're saying totally, but the fans are gonna watch both. They just
That's true.
They just are, and I get it, especially because the season's been so amazing. The celebrity season is awesome. You don't want it to take away and have people during the summer be like, "I wish that we had celebrities," but at the same time, I know I'm gonna watch both, even if they started doing 16 seasons during. You're gonna do as many as we're super fans, and most people who watch Big Brother are super fans.
For sure. I think also too that the one thing that I will say, I've loved this season so far, but it is harder when you because of the longevity of the summer season or how long it is. It makes you root for. You get so much more invested. You get really I've gotten really invested in this because I've had to watch 7 hours of it in 3 days. But the fact of the matter is that you're so by the end of the summer season when you've been watching this for 3 months, you are so involved. Mentally, it's sad.
But what if they do start getting huge A-list celebrities? I think you'd be that invested in the short amount of time.
Well, I'm invested in this.
If you get a Taylor Swift on this show, then people are...
Can you imagine?
Well, but I think that's...
tears from Taylor.
That's where I think they're going, and that's why it's such a short amount of time. This is proof. This is them saying, look, guys, look at the numbers we can get. So... If you guys want this, come and get it. And that's why I'm not worried about them having to pay people way too much because there's so many people who want to go on the show.
And look at the exposure. I mean, look at all these
true.
people. These people are getting these massive exposure, 24 hours.
Keisha was out of sight, out of mind for
Totally.
so many years for me. Now she's back.
Yeah. And now you know exactly who she is.
Yeah.
Yes, you
know
do.
all about her.
And her breasts.
That's all you think about now. But hey, at least she's back in the spotlight.
Remember.
Okay, so last question. What do you guys think is going to happen in the next episode? So we have James and Shannon on the block. We saw a little bit right as the credits were rolling. Omarosa coming in, and you could see there was obviously a little tension between her and Shannon. What do you guys think is going to happen?
Who?
You guys think?
I think if Shannon doesn't win the veto, she's going home. I think the smarter move would be to send James home, and that's my personal opinion, and I hope someone kind of thinks that through. But I think if she does not secure that veto, she's gone.
Yeah, I think Shannon is 100% done. I did hear something, I think it was stated at the end of the episode that there's some sort of fan vote happening on Friday. I don't know if...
Okay.
They weren't talking about the fan in the episode today.
Definitely not. But I don't know what that is. No one knows what that is. So maybe it could end up saving Shannon. That might be her only hope.
Interesting.
Here's what I hope happens, which I don't think will, but this would be great. I hope Shannon wins the veto and then decides she's not fit to be in this game, uses it on James, pulls him off the block. Somebody else goes on, and then they're like, well, if her heart's not in it, we're keeping her here. And then they
we're making her stay. And then it ends up being like Omarosa, and all in turn, Omarosa goes home.
So it's like finally Shannon's like, send me home, and they're like, nope.
Nope, you gotta stay.
Nope.
Pulling the meta. Honestly, can we will that to happen?
Yeah, seriously. I hope that, and this has nothing to do, even though I can't stand James, but this has nothing to do with him. I hope that neither of them wins the veto, and then Shannon somehow gets her way back into the good graces, like figures it out. Like that would be an amazing. That would show her how good of a player she is.
It proves she's a good player. Yes. That's the determining factor. Is she a Dan Giesling? Can she wiggle her way back in
That's
here?
What I'm
or
wondering.
But I don't want to. If she gives up, I'll be literally so disappointed.
No, I want to know if she is that. I want to know if she is Dan Giesling.
This is like her test.
Did you see her crying in bed? She's obviously
she's an actress.
She's obviously Dan Giesling.
She's an actress.
But
what is all the fun?
I mean, Vanessa did this for the whole season. Like she just cried the entire season and got third. I mean, she should have won, whatever. But I mean, I think that I would like to see what kind of a player. I would like to see her prove her prowess.
I agree. This is it. This is a super fan test right here.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see.
Don't fail us, Shannon.
All right, guys. Well, that's all for us. We really thank you guys for coming and hanging with us. If you want to send us your questions or comments or anything, please go to our Twitters and hashtag BuzzBB. We are going to be back on Sunday night at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, yes.
I'll be here.
Yes, Roxy.
Yeah, Roxy will be here.
And Morgan, I think somebody else is coming. I don't know if we should tell them just yet.
It's gonna be great.
It is going to be a good guess. I'm trying to think of a hint that isn't going to completely give it away.
It's a person.
What season? Say what
it's
season.
It's a person.
I can't say
season.
You can't say what season.
All I'm going to say is...
Dad probably gave it away.
I'm just going to say... I'll give away... Can I give away gender? Would that give it away?
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
Just female. That's all you get to know.
That's so vague. That is nothing.
Yeah.
It's not
we don't know.
It's not a lie. It's fully a female, but take your guesses.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Bryce McLeay. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at BryceAdvice.
And I'm Morgan Willett. You can find me on Twitter at Morgan_Willett, Instagram Morgan Lee Willett.
And I'm Alex, and thanks for bearing with my raspy voice because I've been sick all week.
You sound fine.
Yeah, you sound totally fine.
Raspy voices are where it's at.
They're very popular right now.
I'm Roxy Striar. You can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you Sunday.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.